well managed within the specified time, but good outputs actually, I think, very, very nice. I now request Dr. Biswajeet Chakravarti from TCS to have his presentation.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to speak over here. Now, in the morning session, especially when we had been listening to the challenges, to the the energy and the economic challenges, etc., to establish the project. I mean, one thing was coming in my mind is that whether these challenges are overcomable at all or not. I mean, because there are a lot of political issues, social issues, project issues, everything are around. We could classify the challenges in three vital categories. One is the managing the demand and supply of energy, which all of us know is the production, that how do we manage the demand, the supply, etc. The second is that how do we manage the stakeholders' interest. Now, stakeholders' interest consists of people who are actually investing over there, starting from government to the private agencies, everybody. I mean, that part is there. And the third thing is that efficient use of energy. These three categories that we have been discussing all around. Okay. Now, the challenges are pretty vital, but one of the key things that comes in my mind is that if I think it in a granular way, I mean, every of these challenges that are over here at a very higher level or at a broad level are also kind of our personal challenges in life. I mean, we can, and that's what I tell while practicing the consulting within my organization or wherever I have worked in the past, that whenever a new employee or a new person joins within our organization, we tell that, you have to keep the stakeholders' interest alive. That is, the company's interest. And here we are talking about the interest of a larger community. So that part is clear. The second part is that the demand and supply. Of course, regarding the work, if you can think it over in a larger domain, it is about the energy that we are talking about. And third is that efficient use of resources, people, and here we are talking about the energy. So it's not that it is not manageable, it is just that we need better policies, better framework to do this. And how to address such kind of a framework and to define and to deliver the operational excellence out of it. Now, there are two things over there. One is that we have operations in one hand that needs to be established. Second is that we have to run the operations, that's the second. And the third is that how to improve the operational excellence of the platform. I don't think that, kind of this particular challenge we discussed in detail, and which is a challenge actually, how to increase the operational efficiency into the entire system. Now, we know that the solutions are not that complex. The solutions are the implementation of the solutions are very, very complex, because increasing the operational efficiency or or implementing any kind of operations means strategy. We have to strategize. We have to plan accordingly. We have to use the right kind of technology and implement the right kind of technological framework. Maybe it is IT. IT is one just part of it. There might be consulting. There might be other tools. There might be the core engineering framework, everything has to be there. Then there are processes that how do we manage about it. And that part comes with experience, that how do you define the processes around it. And then there are people. So one of the key things that I thought that being in this particular institute, I'll be talking also about people. And what are the industry expectation from the people that are over here, and how we address that particular need. 27 years back, when I started my career in the energy and came to a college, actually, I didn't have much options left. I thought that I'll study energy. I studied geophysics. And geophysics was, because we didn't have such kind of programs, such kind of institutes over here. We started, in a way. But those programs used to be designed in such a way that, very theoretical in nature and technical in nature. We required those kind of programs, but we never used to the world where actually we really, as a SME or as a person, will be implementing projects over there. Now, I really do not know that in this particular institute or the other institutes that we are, focusing or building in India, how much defined is the educational curriculum of project execution to make a project be instituted of that nature. While I'm talking about project, I'm not talking about IT project, even a LNG plant, even a plant that is, the operation that has to be set up. So that particular part, I think, is very, very important, where we have people who understand that in a granular way. To do it, I think that we have to redefine a little bit of the courses side, as well as we need to address or change the curriculum in such a way so that we do not have coarse-grained, we do not impart and actually gain knowledge, or execute knowledge or learn in a coarse-grained way. We go into a fine-grained way. I'll give you an example. Actually, I execute programs from, for worldwide energy industries all across the world, Now, TCS or such kind of organization has got huge resource pool. But today, when I think about a particular resource that I have to get for say somewhere in the US for an oil and gas company, where actually I have to devise and implement and see that a well monitoring platform for operational excellence. I'm talking about the digital oil field program. I really don't get such kind of resources in the market. I get resources who comes up with that what is the cost saving, etc., that one can get out of digital oil field programs implemented in Germany or something like it. But how do I do such kind of resources? So knowledge that has been imparted, or knowledge that has been practiced, or projects that he has worked on, or the learning that he has got, is something which is a coarse-grained way, which has not gone into a fine-grained way to do the. I'm not talking that it has to be exactly in that particular project or that particular area, but imparting the knowledge and practicing the knowledge has to be in a fine-grained way. So that's something which is vital for project execution, because once these problems of Mr. Pandian that he talked about in the morning has been done, then actually it is the people like many of us who will be working on those kind of vital projects. Once they are ready with the strategy and stuff like that, we have to give the nation the footprint of an operational setup through our knowledge and execute an operational improvement program over there. So that's a very vital way. The second thing that I would have thought about is that, we have to become, in energy and environment, global citizens. And that's something which, personally, I have seen that when I really started consulting and thinking about it, like a particular barrel of oil, we really do not know that the crude is coming from Chile or Venezuela and it travels to India and we are using or filling it on our scooter or in our car. In the same way, the resource mobilization and the knowledge specifications, the working style has to execute and has to be in that particular way. Now that's something which is for you guys to think of, and we started it, but we have not been able to deliver possibly the required way in that sense, because under the circumstances, the collaborative activities and the collaborations will increase. We may carry different passports, that doesn't mean anything. But finally, end of the day, the executions of the programs, such kind of programs for operational excellence and operational framework will need the program excellence to run the program in an excellent way, when you can become the global citizens. So that's the second thing that I thought that I'll be bringing it. And the educational institutions like this has got a big role to play to make global citizens. It's vital. We started from village. I started from village, in fact, my life. But then it was a really Herculean task for me, in fact, to execute such kind of a thing. And I could not execute after 18 or 20 years also. I don't think that I have been able to completely execute
Another
it.
1 minute extra time.
Yeah, thanks. So that part is vital. The third thing is that consulting, analysis, the project execution, how do you really do the project execution in a better way, or program management in such a way that should be, delivered and taught, and you should also learn in a better way. So that's something which is vital. I think that with this, I'll just finish. Thank you very much, and look forward.
Thank you, Dr. Biswajeet, for expressing your concern about how to implement the decision. Now I request Dr. Vasant Agarwal, MD of Emax.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers, panelists. I'm so delighted to see the young people that have come, because essentially you believe in energy, and that's why you're here. And we've had some excellent discussion on infrastructure and energy in India in various forms, the problems, the pitfalls, whether it's coal or oil or financing or government policies or ecological issues or land issues. I mean, we've discussed the plethora of the challenges facing and where we need to be, and how come we're not getting there. And we're losing time, because all these solutions will take time, and depends on government policies, and like they were saying, by a stroke of a pen, there goes that policy, uncertainties and so on and so forth. So at the outset, I want to take a slightly different approach to what was discussed. I truly believe that energy conservation is equally important, if not more important, than infrastructure, time, effort, expenses. Because if you save a penny, you have earned a penny of energy. And our focus is always on generating energy. Produce more, bring more oil, bring more coal. And my approach is that if you can conserve, if the transmission losses of the Indian electric distribution system were to be reduced by even 10%, 15%, can you imagine the savings that would incur as a result of coal-based or oil-based power generation? And that technology is there today. It's not like somebody has to invent a way to reduce power losses. It's there. So why not catch the ear instead of like this? Why not catch it like this and say, okay, our policy is to reduce line losses. In the United States, the government 30 years ago set fuel efficiency standards. Every year, the fuel efficiency of cars must go up by so much. At that time, in 1970, when I went to the US to study, the average gasoline efficiency was 10, 12 miles to the gallon. Today, it's 40 miles to the gallon. Very simple. Institute policies that are practical and that will yield the desired result. So that is my, if you may feel so, counter to some of the discussion. Yes, both should be done. I'm not saying that the infrastructure should not be developed, but at the same time, if you can focus on energy conservation and save those kilowatt hours, you will, I think, reach your goal faster. Anyway, quick background on me. I've spent 40 years in the US in solar, wind, electric vehicles, energy conservation, renewable energy. And I've come back to India and, excuse me, I'm working with NGOs and corporate social responsibility. And so when I came back, it was essentially to retire. That's what my family wanted me to do, but I couldn't. So I said, okay, now what can I do with my knowledge in renewable energy? So I went out in the villages and I started trying to understand what are the problems. And that's one of the points that I'm trying to get to is, and I found out that there were 400 million mobile phones in rural India, in villages. It was stunning. And then I found out that they go into town 15, 20 kilometers away and stand in line for 4 hours and pay a generator guy 10, 12 rupees to charge their mobile phone, and they do that every second day. And then they come back home, and at night, they burn kerosene lamps, which are polluting, fire hazard, cause all kinds of respiratory problems, and cost another 10, 12 rupees every night. And in a confined environment, you're talking health issues as well. So I said, now, if we can solve both these problems,